My name is Sarah. I want to tell you my story. It is a story of struggle, hope, and courage. I grew up in a small town surrounded by mountains. The air was fresh, and the fields were endless. As a child, I loved to run outside, feel the wind in my hair, and watch the birds fly freely in the sky. But inside my house, things were different. My parents were strict. They believed that children should be quiet, obedient, and serious. They didn't like laughter or noise. I had 2 older brothers, but they were always busy with school and chores. I was often alone. My parents did not allow me to have friends. Friends will distract you from your studies, they said. So I spent my days reading books and doing homework. At night, I looked out of my window and dreamed of a different life. I wanted to explore the world, meet new people, and find happiness. When I turned 7, my parents enrolled me in school. I was excited, but also nervous. I had never been around other children before. When I walked into the classroom, I felt like an outsider. The other kids played together and laughed, but I sat alone in the corner. I did not know how to talk to them. I wanted to join their games, but my feet felt stuck to the ground. I told myself, stay quiet, stay safe. Over time, I made a few friends. A girl named Emma was kind to me. She had bright blue eyes and a cheerful smile. She invited me to her house, but I knew my parents would say no, so I always made excuses. Maybe another time, I said. Deep down, I wanted to go. I wanted to have fun, but I was too afraid. As I grew older, I found comfort in painting. I loved colors. They made me feel alive. I painted the things I dreamed of, sunsets over the ocean, big cities with bright lights, and people dancing in the streets. I wanted to take art classes at school, but my parents refused. Art is useless, they said. Focus on real subjects. My heart sank, but I obeyed them. I always obeyed. When I turned 18, I left for college. It was the first time I was away from home. I felt free, but also lost. I did not know how to make decisions for myself. My parents had always told me what to do. Now I had to figure it out on my own. At college, I met a boy named Daniel. He was charming, funny, and full of life. He made me feel special. You are amazing, Sarah, he told me. No one had ever said that to me before. I believed him. I fell in love. Daniel and I spent all our time together. He made me laugh. He took me to places I had never been before. We talked about our dreams and our future. One day, he said, Sarah, you don't need college. We can get married and be happy together. His words felt like a warm blanket around me. I trusted him. I dropped out of college. My parents were furious. You are making a mistake, they shouted. But I did not listen. I believed love was more important. I thought Daniel would take care of me. At first, life was beautiful. We got married and moved to a small apartment in the city. Daniel had a job, and I stayed home. I decorated our place with paintings and flowers. I cooked meals for him. We were happy, but happiness did not last. Slowly, Daniel started changing. He became distant. He came home late. He stopped making me laugh. I asked him, "Is something wrong?" He just said, "I'm tired." I felt lonely. One night, he came home angry. He shouted at me over something small. I was shocked. He had never yelled at me before. I thought maybe he had a bad day, but it happened again and again. Then one night he hit me. My world shattered. I looked at him, my eyes full of tears. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean it." I wanted to believe him, I forgave him, but deep inside, I was scared. Things got worse. Daniel controlled everything I did. He told me what to wear, who to talk to, and where I could go. I felt like a prisoner in my own home. I wanted to leave, but I had nowhere to go. My parents had cut ties with me. I had no money, no job, and no support. Then, I found out I was pregnant. I thought Daniel would change. I thought he would become loving again. But he didn't. He ignored me most days. When I gave birth to our daughter Lily, he wasn't even at the hospital. When I brought her home, he barely looked at her. I loved Lily more than anything. She was my reason to wake up every morning, but life was hard. I had no one to help me. Daniel didn't care. He came and went as he pleased. One day, I saw him with another woman. My heart broke into a million pieces. When I confronted him, he laughed. "She makes me happy," he said. "You don't?" I felt worthless. I wanted to leave, but how? I had no money, no job, no home to go to. Then, one night, Daniel told me he was leaving. "I found someone else," he said. "You'll be fine on your own." And just like that, he was gone. I cried for days. I felt like my world had ended. But then, I looked at Lily. She needed me. I couldn't give up. I started small. I baked cakes and sold them online. I learned how to sew and made clothes to sell. I worked day and night. It was hard, but I didn't stop. One day, my neighbor, Mrs. Wilson, knocked on my door. "I see you working so hard," she said. "Do you need help?" I wanted to say no, but something in me said yes. She helped me find a job at a small bakery. I worked there every morning while Lily stayed with her. Slowly, I saved money. I found strength I never knew I had. Months passed. My business grew. People loved my cakes. I started painting again. For the first time in years, I felt happy. One day, Daniel called. "I made a mistake," he said. "Can I come back?" The old me would have said yes, but I was not the old me. I had built a new life. "No," I told him, "I deserve better." Now I own my own bakery. Lily is growing up happy. She sings and dances and fills our home with laughter. One day, she looked at me and said, "Mom, you are the strongest person I know." Her words made my heart soar. Sometimes, on quiet nights after Lily has fallen asleep, I sit by the window with a cup of tea, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. I think about the girl I used to be, the one who was too afraid to speak, too afraid to dream. I no longer recognize her. The woman I am today is strong, independent, and full of hope. I built a life with my own hands, not just for myself, but for my daughter. One afternoon, a young woman walked into my bakery. She hesitated at the door, her eyes filled with the same fear I once carried. "Are you hiring?" she asked in a small voice. I saw myself in her, someone searching for a way out, for a second chance. I smiled and said, "Yes. Let's sit down and talk." Because if I have learned anything, it is that kindness has the power to change the lives. Just as Mrs. Wilson once helped me, I now have the chance to help others. And that more than anything is what makes this journey worthwhile. If you are listening to my story, I want you to know something. You are strong. You can survive. You deserve happiness. Never be afraid to start again. I hope my story gives someone hope. If you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe, and share.